He never reached the destination printed on my surface. But every day, thousands of people come to see the last thing he carried before he died. They don't know his name. They don't know his story. But I do. Yet after more than a century, I am still here. I am just a piece of paper. Small. Fragile. Easy to lose. Most tickets are forgotten the moment a journey ends. For more than 100 years, people have protected me. They place me behind glass. They study every mark on my surface. Not because I am valuable. Not because I am rare. But because I was the last thing a young dreamer carried before boarding the Titanic. People walk past me every day. They stare at me through glass. Some take photographs. Some read the small faded words printed across my body. Most see an old piece of paper. But I see something else. I see a young man standing at a harbor with hope in his eyes. I see the last journey of his life. And I remember every second of it. To board the ship, they needed one thing. Me. A ticket. Without me, the journey could not begin. The day he first held me, he couldn't stop smiling. He checked me again and again. Folding me carefully. Protecting me like a treasure. To others, I was nothing special. Just paper and ink. But to him, I was proof that his dream was finally coming true. For months he had worked for this moment. Saved for this moment. Imagined this moment. And now it was here. An ocean stood between him and the future he wanted. And I was his way across. Then came the morning that changed everything. Crowds gathered along the harbor. Families hugged goodbye. Children waved excitedly. Reporters rushed through the streets. Everyone wanted to see her. The ship that seemed too large to be real. Titanic. She rose above the harbor like a floating city. Powerful. Beautiful. Unstoppable. People said she was the safest ship ever built. Some even called her unsinkable. Looking at her, it was easy to believe. Even I believed it. As we stepped aboard, excitement filled every corner of the ship. Passengers explored endless hallways. Music echoed through elegant rooms. Laughter drifted across the decks. Everywhere people talked about tomorrow. New jobs. New opportunities. New beginnings. No one talked about disaster. No one talked about endings. Because nobody thought an ending was possible. The first days felt perfect. The ocean was calm. The sky was clear. At night, countless stars stretched across the darkness. Sometimes he would stand alone by the railing, watching the sea, thinking about the life waiting for him on the other side. I could feel his heartbeat through the pocket where he kept me. Fast. Excited. Hopeful. He believed he was sailing toward the best chapter of his life. He had no idea he was sailing toward the last. With this, the first days felt like a dream. Each morning he woke up smiling. Sometimes he would pull me from his pocket and read the destination printed on my surface. Again. And again. And again. As if he couldn't quite believe it was real. At night he stood by the railing beneath a sky crowded with stars. The cold wind brushed against his face. The ocean stretched endlessly into darkness. And somewhere beyond that darkness was the future he had imagined for years. A future filled with opportunity. A future where his hard work would finally mean something. I could feel the excitement in every heartbeat. Strong. Steady. Hopeful. He wasn't thinking about the life he was leaving behind. He was thinking about the life waiting ahead. And for the first time in a very long time, he truly believed everything was going to be all right. Then came April 14, 1912. The night was unusually cold. The sea was strangely still. Most passengers were asleep. The giant ship moved silently through the darkness. Then, a vibration. A scrape. A shudder. So small that many passengers barely noticed it. For a moment everything remained normal. The lights stayed on. The music continued. Conversations carried on. But beneath the surface of the ocean, death had already arrived. Titanic had struck an iceberg. At first nobody believed there was real danger. How could there be? This was Titanic. The ship that wasn't supposed to sink. Yet crew members began moving faster. Lifeboats appeared. Orders echoed across the decks. The atmosphere changed. Questions became concern. Concern became fear. Fear became panic. Then his hand found me. One last time. It was shaking now. Just hours earlier, those same fingers had held me with excitement. Now they gripped me with fear. I could feel his pulse racing. Faster. And faster. And faster. Around us, the world was changing. Children were crying. People were calling out names into the darkness. A mother wrapped her arms around her child and refused to let go. A husband kissed his wife goodbye. The freezing wind cut across the deck like a knife. Every breath turned to mist. Every passing minute brought the ocean closer. For a moment, he pressed his hand against the pocket where I rested. As if holding onto me could somehow hold on to the future. As if the dream printed on my surface was still waiting for him. But deep down, I think he already knew. The journey was ending. Around him, families clung to one another. The great ship was dying. I could feel the angle beneath his feet changing. Slowly at first. Then faster. People who had been standing moments earlier were suddenly struggling to keep their balance. The freezing ocean rushed across the deck. Shoes slipped. Suitcases tumbled. Voices turned into screams. The sound was unforgettable. Steel groaning. Metal tearing. The cries of thousands of frightened souls echoing into the night. Some prayed. Some shouted names. Some simply stared in disbelief. The giant ship that had promised safety was breaking apart before their eyes. The stars above remained beautiful. The ocean below remained merciless. And between them stood a young dreamer clutching the future he would never reach. Titanic was sinking. Then came the final moments. The lights flickered. Darkness swallowed the ship. And within minutes, one of the greatest engineering achievements in human history vanished beneath the Atlantic Ocean. More than 1,500 lives disappeared that night. Dreams. Promises. Entire futures. Lost forever. Including his. For a brief moment, his hand was still there. Holding me. Holding hope. Holding the future he had spent years chasing. Then the darkness took him. And the hand that had carried me across an ocean was gone. I never saw him again. I don't know what happened during his final moments. I don't know if he was afraid. I don't know if he thought about home. Or the future waiting for him across the ocean. I only know that he never reached it. And somehow, I survived. A simple piece of paper survived while the mighty Titanic disappeared beneath miles of water. For over a century I have remained. Not as a treasure. Not as a miracle. But as a memory. A witness. A reminder. Because every famous tragedy is made of ordinary people. People with dreams. People with hopes. People who believed tomorrow would come. Today, when visitors stop and look at me, they see a Titanic ticket. A faded piece of paper. A museum artifact. A relic from another age. But I remember something different. I remember the warmth of the hand that carried me. The excitement in his eyes when he first saw the ship. The dreams he carried across the ocean. The future he believed was waiting for him. He never reached the destination printed on my surface. The ocean took that from him. But it could not take his story. Because every time someone pauses in front of me, every time someone wonders who carried me, every time someone imagines that young dreamer standing on the deck of Titanic, he lives again. And perhaps that is why I survived. Not to remember the ship, but to remember him.